All right? Now let's do another test. Think of something, a button. You know, you can do the father button, or you can think about a person, or you can go back to a memory, a stressor, something that bothers you. Everybody take a deep breath, close your eyes, and remember one, and notice what happens. Now, guys, if you're looking at you in the memory, won't you step in the memory as if you're really there? And I want you to notice the feeling gets stronger. Got that stressor? Let's kind of measure it. 0, I can't feel it. 10, it's really strong. How strong can you make this feeling? The stronger, the better for now. Can you make it a 10? All right, raise your hand if it's 5 or higher. This stressor that you thought of. All right? Now, if it isn't 5 or higher, let's do it again. Now, how many of you went back to your memory, and when you remembered that stressor, and when you remembered it, you were seeing you in the memory? Raise your hand. All right, seeing you in the memory. So there's about 25%. All right, now let me help you understand something, what really occurs. Everybody look at me right now. Okay, you're experiencing this experience right now. Now, I want you to notice, can you see you look at me right now? Can you see you look at me right now? You can't. Why? Because you can only look out your eyes. Isn't that true? So that means you can't be over there looking at you, look at me. True? There's only one way that your brain records this information. It's going this way. You got it? You can't see it. I can't see me giving the presentation right now because I'm right here and not over there. You got it? So what happens in your mind, if you go back to a memory and you're watching you in the memory, your mind is doing something for you. It's pulling you out so you don't feel it as much. Now here's the interesting thing. Most people, when they go back to the stressors, they're in their body seeing and feeling the stress. And when they go to the good memories, they're watching themselves have a good memory. Now that's an interesting concept, because if you're not in your good experiences and not feeling very good, it's because you're good at disassociating from feeling good. And you know why you do that? I'll tell you why. It started about kindergarten. I always call it kitty garden. Now my kids get on to me. It's kindergarten, Dad. All right, you start at kindergarten, and at kindergarten, here you are, you're sitting in the desk, and you're going to learn to recognize squiggles on the chalkboard. Now, at first, they look just like squiggles. And they said these are the letters of the alphabet, and your unconscious mind starts to recognize and notice the difference between one squiggle and another. And then you have to figure out how to write your name. Now, of course, when I was a kid, I knew my name was Robert, but I didn't know what it looked like. Lucky for me, they wrote R-O-B-E-R-T on the chalkboard. Then she said, Robert, that's your name. I said, okay, what do I do with it? All right. She said, and she gave me this paper with this big pencil with this lead in it. And she said, put it on that paper. So here I'm trying to turn this paper, trying to make it look just right. And she came over, she said, you're not supposed to turn the paper. I said, okay. And so here it is. We're trying to learn the alphabet. Of course, teachers, I don't want to pick on teachers, but teachers are big liars. I mean, they really are. They told us that there are 24 letters, 26 letters of the alphabet. They didn't tell you there's 26 capital letters you had to memorize, and 26 small letters you had to memorize. So 26 times 2, isn't that right? And then after you get this all figured out, you got these 26 capital letters, 26 small letters, and then they change it on you where they give you another 26 capital cursive letters and another 26 small cursive letters. And by the way, guys, you can't mix and match. You realize that. And of course, when you did all this work, when they returned the paper, they only marked in red what? Mistakes. What you did wrong. And then all of a sudden you become an expert at looking for what? Is wrong. What's wrong? And then you wonder why in the world, whenever you have a good experience, you always push it aside and you keep rehearsing and remembering and looking for what? What's wrong? Red marks. Now guys, what we want to do is reprogram, change our thinking. I do look for what's wrong. And you know why I look for what's wrong? Because I want to let it go. I want to release it. I don't want it inside me. I'm sitting and I'm watching this movie. I can't remember what it was. It was a scary movie. And at one point, it really got scary, and I felt it. And you know what I did? That's right, I tapped it away. Because I only want good stuff inside me. I want to get rid of all the buttons. And how many of you want to get rid of the buttons? I mean, seriously. Now here's the crazy part. Somebody said, you know, Robert, this tapping is kind of silly. It's kind of weird. It works, but it's weird. I said, which is more weird? You're tapping away a problem, or you're quack, 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 quack. Which is more weird? Quack, 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 quack. Now, there's this lady and her boyfriend who came to see me, and we're working and we're changing his lives. I mean, this is a true story, guys. This guy is very successful, and he just recently divorced. He's feeling really depressed and really down. His girlfriend just broke up with him, and he has an attic where you pull it down and you can climb up. He's already hung his noose where he's going to hang and kill himself. He says, I can't get out of the bed in the morning. I just hate myself. And so he went to the therapist or the doctor, the psycho guy, and they gave him all these drugs. And he said, I can't even function now, and I'm still depressed. I said, well, won't you come on in? Let me help you. And of course, when I saw him, now he's a friend of mine too, and he looks like a drunk guy. He is so drugged out. I mean, I said, oh my God. I said, let's start working on this stuff and clean it out. And we started changing the memories, the events, and this bad attitude he has for himself. And guess where he learned that attitude? From a parent. And so here it is. We've already changed it. He's off all the antidepressants. He's happy. His job is doing great. He's operating and interacting with his ex-wife, and everything's wonderful. And he's dating this girl. And she said, you know, every time I drive this stretch of highway, there's a sign up there, and every time I see this sign, I get really sad and depressed. It's been going on for 20 years because of this event happened. And it's been going on for 20 years, this sign up there. And so all of a sudden, he goes, well, why don't we just release and let it go? She goes, if I release and let it go, I may be a robot. I may not be able to feel my feelings. And I said, hold on just a second here. Every time you see that sign, who automatically responds exactly the same way? Who's really the robot? Because she has no options. None. She only has one. And she's been doing it for how long? Robot. And I said, won't you come to the seminar? Won't you sign up? And you know the amazing thing is, she even forgets about the sign every time she drives by now. She said, oh my God, I passed it. I didn't even recognize it. It disappeared. Because she discovered that she was the one who had the trigger inside her. That's truly amazing. Would you like to change some triggers? Yeah. Would you like to get rid of some of those push buttons? I mean, seriously? Now, I want to help you understand something. A while ago, you went to a good feeling and you felt really good, didn't you? And then you went to a stressor and you felt really stressed. Okay. You produced both, didn't you? Now, the reaction inside your body, how many of you realize what the fight or flight response is? The fight or flight response, and just in case you don't know what it is, you're driving through, you're walking through the forest, and all of a sudden you walk upon this big mean bear, and you just pass the park ranger. The park ranger said, hey, there's a horrible, mean, killing bear out there. He's been ripping people apart and eating them and screams and all kinds of stuff. All right, now he walks upon this mean bear. What happens inside his body? Hey, oh, shoot occurs. Okay? Now, when you're stressed, now, guys, when I say you're stressed, that could be a variety of things. When I saw the smirk on that guy's face, that was the oh shoot feeling. It wasn't as intense as some others. And so this oh shoot, 1,400 changes occur inside your body once perception perceives a threat. So what is that reaction? Inside your body, there's a pair of adrenals on top of your kidneys, and it starts pumping that boom, 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 the excitement, and all of a sudden your heart starts to speed up, your heart meridian, and then your digestive system, all the blood in your stomach is rerouted to your arms and your legs. The blood pressure in your arm and legs increases 300 to 400%. While you're stressed, now your liver does several things, but one of the things it does while you're stressed, it pumps glucose, sugar, into your blood system, fat into your blood system. And then all of a sudden, how many of you have done this? Someone pushed your button, all of a sudden you just automatically respond, and after you did, say, why do I always do that? Why do I always act that way? Because inside you, you automatically respond. The body, the organs, is what creates your feelings, your emotions, and what we want to do is discover how to change it.